Hello and welcome to another Castles video. Today we're looking at this magnificent property. A 3 double bedroom detached property in the heart of Boxmoor. Literally only a 5 to 10 minute walk down to the train station. You can almost see the lines across from us in that gap over there. So literally on the doorstep of the train station. It's obviously a residential road, this one. It just goes down to the end, links back up with Horsecroft Road and goes straight over to Fishery. Come with me and let's go and have a look around inside. So you join me inside the entrance hall for the property, where we're greeted by a lot of those features. Even the locks on the doors are obviously from that age. Beautiful, beautiful amount of history with this property. As I understand it from the vendor, the property itself is over 100 years old and it's only been in 2 families. My current vendor, who's been here for the best part of 45 years, and then the previous occupiers who were here for the best part of 65. So for a property like that, this is a real testament to how much of a beautiful family home this is. The fact that people have been here for pretty much an entire generation. So first of all, we're going to have a look at the living room, which is just through here. And immediately you'll notice the incredibly high ceilings. You may have seen some of my other videos and seen me crack my head on a few of the door frames. Well, there's absolutely no danger of that happening here. You can see there's a real distance between me and the top of the ceiling. The property is in no short supply of period features, and you can see that immediately with the fireplaces, which are in their typical Victorian styling. And you've also got the sash windows as well, which is a real feature of the age. This one has been added on to with this little conservatory as well, which is a lovely little feature. It extends the usable space of the living room and just really gives you a bit of a depth into that garden as well, which we'll obviously have a look around at in a great bit of detail later. But for now, nice little look straight out of there. There is a door leading you out as well, which is great. So this is obviously one of the front-facing reception rooms. This is the dining room, which is a real formal affair. And you can see, again, bay window to the front, which is a real feature of this time. And then you've also got the light fittings, the open fireplace that you can see down there. And this is a real proper works. Look at that, all the brass trimmings around the side there. Really fantastic. The vendors obviously decorated the property in a certain style to accentuate those historical features, and that's obviously clear by the dado rails and obviously the other features around the property of decor that match up with the time. This room is a massive size. Again, you've got those really high ceilings as well, which is lovely. And obviously, you know, a real nice bright frontage, just letting all that light in as well. These shutters are obviously a more modern feature, but something which will stay in the property. And I think a lot of people really like those shutters, and I know they're very expensive. So that's an extra cost that you won't have to worry about. The hallway is a beautiful affair as well, actually, to be honest with you. You've got this lovely staircase over here. Grandfather clock, which I don't think will be included, but nevertheless it really helps with the styling of the property. A large understair storage cupboard that runs all the way under the stairs, and there's even a little cupboard down here as well, just to get that little bit of extra storage. There is a door here out to the rear of the property which isn't used. They've got obviously a little table in the way, but easily could be. And now we're going to walk into the kitchen breakfast room, which feels like 2 separate rooms almost. It's actually quite nice how it's been laid out. So you've got lots of storage all built in, especially the ones around the recess there as well. A log burner down the bottom, which the vendor very fortunately put on for us when we came to do the photography of this property, which was lovely and warm. And you've also got this really fantastic larder down here, which I'll show you quickly. It's a massive space. It comes in behind the understair storage cupboard. The vendor probably wouldn't be too happy for me showing you this, but I think it's important because it shows you the general size. And you've got an extra fridge freezer, and obviously space for a microwave and loads of storage space in there. And there's a window as well, which is great. So moving on through the breakfast room into the kitchen, and obviously this is a much more modern affair. Range cooker built in there, butler sink as well, and a massive window looking over that garden. It's absolutely huge, just to give you a real nice perspective on the the plot that you sit on. And again, there's also side access here as well. I'll give you a better look of that kitchen as well, just through that archway there. You can see running all the way through the side there. And all the way this way as well. So you could probably do something with this room if this isn't the layout that you're looking for. A steel RSJ going across the top there and opening the whole room out would be ideal. You can see from our floor plan, by adding the two rooms together, you get a real idea of the overall size, which is lovely, you know. But it is very functional as it is, you know. It's a nice social space. Then has a lot of parties in the property, and this is obviously used for that quite regularly. So that's obviously the downstairs space for the property. Now let's go upstairs and have a look around at the accommodation. Come with me. So you join me halfway up the stairs to the first floor, and immediately we're greeted by this WC, which has got something very special in it indeed. This, as we understand it, is the original toilet container. The thing at the top there you see. Obviously this property is about 100 years old, if not a bit more, so every little piece of history from that Victorian era is obviously highly desirable. So now we're on the full first floor, and we've got a little bit of storage off to the right hand side. We've got bedrooms 3 and 1 and 2 over there. First of all, we'll have a little look in this room, which, as you can see, has been built in with storage either side of that fireplace, taking great advantage of the recess. The vendor has a single bed in here at the moment, but you can see from that spacing at the side there that there is enough room for a double bed for sure. And obviously the room itself is a great size. You can see that from here. Really, really fantastic size. 9-foot ceilings in this property. 9 foot, absolutely massive. So this is the ensuite bathroom to the third bedroom. And as you can see here, we've got feature fireplace, everything that you'd expect. This beautiful bay window, which you may have seen from outside, which is a real unique feature. And then just to keep everything in keeping with the rest of the property, a roll top bath. Look at that, absolutely spectacular. So moving on through the rest of the property, along the first floor, we've got doors off to bedrooms 1 and 2, and then also the shower room as well. We'll have a look at bedrooms 2 first. So both of these bedrooms are front facing, and you'll have those double windows that you can see behind me there. And then obviously you've got space for wardrobes and everything. You can see the real size of this room is real spectacular. Look at that. Massive, massive amount of space. Double bed in there, plenty of room either side for side tables and chairs, which is something you don't often see in these sorts of properties. But it's a real wonderful room. Look at that. Spectacular space. Now you won't find this in a new build property, that's for sure, especially not this size. You've got some new build properties that have been completed across the road, but they don't compare to this. So the shower room is just here. Obviously we're split between the shower room and the WC, as you saw. And you can see in there straight away, space for a nice shower, obviously a sink and a window, etc. You might be able to do something interesting with that, you know, possibly moving the door down here a little bit with just an installation of a lintel, bringing the entrance to the bathroom up to about where I'm standing, and then you should have enough room for shower, toilet and basin instead of just the two. So finally we're going to have a look at this master bedroom, which is really spectacular. And you've got, again, you know, these massive wardrobes going across the back wall there. You've even got wardrobes on this side as well, which you can see there. Chest of drawers, and obviously other storage as well. And the rest of the room is just a real colossal size. You can see that there. Good double-sized double bed, side tables, plenty of room either side. And then obviously you've got that vanity table there as well, with the mirror above it, which is fantastic. And you can see double windows again. Absolutely beautiful. So now we're going to have a little look outside at the property, and this is when things start getting really, really interesting. So come with me and we'll have a look at the garden. So you join me outside the rear of the property, where immediately we're met with this beautiful courtyard that you see there. You've got loads and loads of space. This is obviously a nice patio area to come out and enjoy in the morning. it's also where the potential for the property lies. So as we step up, we get greeted by this beautiful space over the top of my head here. This obviously runs down the back to the parking for the property, and the rest of the property as well. You can see all of that space there. It's a real beautiful garden, loads and loads of space indeed, and lots of privacy as well, which is wonderful. Now, if we take a wander over here, you can see where we've got this massive void in the property here. Obviously it runs lengthways, and then this section of the house comes out to the rear. Now, subject to planning permission, of course, you could, in theory, bring this out so it's all squared off, and that'll leave you with enough room for a massive downstairs space. Right now, I'm stood on top of the top area of the patio, and you can see you've got an array of sheds. All of them, I believe, have got power in. They've even got tumble dryer in this one as well, which is pretty good. But it's a nice space up the top here, especially for capturing the sun in the evening time. Now, this is a north-facing garden, which I know for some of you won't be the preference. However, what I will say about this is that because the property is on a gradient, it actually sits down lower than what the top half of the garden is. So from standing here, you'll find that the sun will be shining in your garden all day long from about March, February time, all the way around until October. So it's as close to a south-facing garden as you can get without actually facing south. And obviously in those few months over winter, who really goes outside and uses their garden anyway. So we're going to have a look around at the parking for the property as well, and you can see that size as we travel down here as well is really wonderful. And you can see from here that you've got all of that space to the side of the property, a massive amount. We'll go down and have a good look under this little archway thing here, which is lovely, very picturesque. And you can see you've got wood stores there for the open fires as well. As you can see, this car here is a pretty sizable vehicle, and there's still plenty of space on here for another car as well. Small car mind, but nevertheless. Give me a call on 01442 233 345 if you'd like to have a look at this property. You can also email me, aaron@castlesboxmoor.com, and you can also direct message me as well. Until next time, I've been Aaron for Castles Estate Agents. Take care.